Welcome students, welcome to lecture number 11 where we will be continuing module number 2 under subject financial management. So module number 2 as we know is time value of money. Okay, and in this particular module we have seen almost everything. We have seen how to calculate the time value of money. We have seen how to calculate in that the future value, present value, compound interest, simple interest, capital recovery, loan amortization, and case study on loan amortization. We'll solve it as and when we come across the previous year's questions. We are just left with this computer lab for calculation of future and present value and loan amortization in MS Excel. So when we use Excel utility, I will teach you all this, how to calculate directly or how to apply directly these formulas in Excel where much effort, human effort is not required. The system itself will calculate and show you all the values. So this we will be dealing later on, but now let us just go through the previous year's question just to understand what are the frequently asked questions so that you all can practice more on that. So today we will be covering problems that is the previous year's question papers. So students, let us start solving. So this particular paper is from this particular question paper. I've just selected questions relevant to only this particular chapter, and we will be doing it for the subsequent modules also. As and when I'll complete a module, I will solve the previous year's questions relating to that particular module. So this is question paper December 2016 and January 2017. So just let us understand. Okay, Mr. X makes a deposit of rupees 10,000 in a bank. Makes a deposit. So he's making a deposit. That means he's making it today, right? This is a present value. 10,000 in a bank which pays 8% interest compounded annually for 8 years. You are required to find out the amount to be received by him after 8 years. So after I reading this question, are you all able to understand, okay, which particular formula are you supposed to use? Can anyone just tell me or explain me this problem? Based on the different lectures we have covered, can you analyze and tell me under which particular concept is this falling and what are we required to find out in this? Yes, students? Yes, students? See, they are telling that rupees 10,000 is deposited today. Okay, today means you all know that it is present value, which pays 8% interest. So rate of interest is 8% compounded annually for 8 years. So number of period is for 8 years. You are required to find out the amount to be received by him after 8 years. So after 8 years, if you want to find out the value, what are we supposed to find out? The present value
Future
or the
value.
future value? Can anyone tell me?
Future value.
Future
Future
value.
value.
Future. Okay. Now, next thing, see, always students, when any problem is given to you all, first thing you analyze whether it is the problem is asking you for present value or future value. Once you are clear that the problem is asking for future value, you need to see whether there is a single cash flow or multiple cash flow. So can you all tell me, is there a single cash flow or multiple cash flow?
Single cash flow, ma'am.
Single
Single
cash
cash
flow.
flow.
Okay, so after analyzing, yes, it is a single cash flow, then you just need to know, remember the formula, that what is the formula to calculate future value of a single cash flow. Once you remember the formula, just put it in the answer, substitute the figures, you will get the future value. So we know that let us see the solution. We know that to calculate the future value of a single cash flow, what is the formula? A is equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. Since it is annually means yearly. So when it is yearly, you're going to keep R and N as it is. So just substitute. See, I told you A is also denoted by future value, and compound interest, whatever formulas we have seen, it is same to the future value, because even in compound interest we are finding the compounded amount, which the formula remains the same. So now we have just substituted the figures in the formula. 10,000 in the bracket 1 plus 8%, so 0.08 raised to 8. When you multiply this two, you will get the future value as 18,509. Now students, where can I get this 8% for 8 years? Where can I get this particular figure? In which particular table
Table
can I
number
get
Table
table
number
number?
3.
3.
I beg your
One,
pardon.
one, one, one.
Table number 1. Very good students. Future value single cash flow is table number 1. So this was a simple formula, simple question which was for 3 marks asked in December 2016 question paper. Now let us move ahead. The second question that was asked in the same question paper that carried 7 marks is: an investor deposits 200 in a bank account for 5 years at 8% interest. Find out the amount which he will have in his account if the interest is compounded annually, semi-annually, and quarterly. So here what they have given, they want again to find out the compounded value they are asking. So compounded value in other terms is nothing but calculating the future value. So can anyone tell me what is this 200? What does it represents, present value or future value? Yes, students?
Present value.
Present value. 5
Present
years is the
value.
number of period given, and 8% is the rate of interest. But they are asking you for annually separate calculation, semi-annually separate calculation, and quarterly separate calculation. So the first thing you need to know is, first you need to analyze is they are asking you the future value. Okay. The second thing you have to see whether it is a single cash flow or multiple cash flow. It is a single cash flow. So what is the formula to calculate single cash flow? So solution, first we do annually, then we do semi-annually, then we do quarterly, because in one question 3 sub questions are asked. So we'll solve each sub question separately. So first for annually, what is the formula to calculate the future value of a single cash flow? It is nothing but A is equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. So the P, the principal amount given is 200 rupees. The rate of interest is 8%. 1 is fixed in the formula, raised to 5, because 5 is the number of years. So when you solve this 200 into 1.08 raised to 5, you get 1.4693. Now can anyone tell me from which table have I to take this particular figure?
Table
Yes,
number 1.
students? Table number 1. So I multiply this 2 and I get this particular answer, that is 293.86 if 200 rupees is kept for 1 year, for 5 years. Okay, at a rate of interest at 8%. Next, for semi-annually, my formula will remain the same. Only what you have to do is multiply n by 2 and divide r by 2. So everything remains the same. 200 in the bracket 1 plus 8% divided by 2. So when 8 you're dividing it by 2, you get 4. That is 4%. And here 5 into 2. Why semi-annually? Because half yearly. So when the interest is compounded semi-annually, means twice a year the interest is being calculated. So therefore you have to divide r by 2 and multiply n by 2. So once you do that, you get 200 in the bracket 1.04 raised to 10. Now again you can see, use the table, and table number 1, that is 4% for 10 years, you will get this answer, that is 1.4802. So the final answer is 296.04. Now students, if you don't want to waste your time in checking out the table, you can simply use your scientific calculator and also get the answer for this particular factor. Next, they are said quarterly. So in case of quarterly, you need to simply multiply n by 4 and divide r by 4. So when you do that, okay, like when you divide r by 4, that is 8% by 4, you get 2, and 5 into 4, you get 20. So further solving it, you have to see 2% for 20 years in table number 1. When you check that, you will get the answer 1.4859. Multiply it by 200. You will get the future value as 297.18. So students, such a simple problem is carrying 7 marks. So if you are able to analyze first thing, what are they asking in the problem, future or present value, then you are able to determine whether it is a single or multiple cash flow. You will then know which formula is to be applied in solving the problem. Now problem number 3. If discount rate is 10%, okay, compute the present value of cash flow streams detailed below. So again here the question is divided into 4 sub questions that they are asking. Determine the cash flow if rupees 100 is received at the end of year 1, rupees 100 is received at the end of year 4, rupees 100 is received at the end of year 3 and year 5, and rupees 100 is received for the next 10 years, that is for years 1 to 10, and this carries 10 marks. So students, this particular problem also is very simple because here directly they are asking you compute the present value. So what is given in the question? They have told you to calculate present value. Now, and here in the main question, four sub questions are given. So first we will solve each sub question individually. Okay. So first I've written A here. Rupees 100 at the end of year 1. So calculate present value of rupees 100 at the end of year 1. So can anyone tell me which formula or what it is depicting, whether single cash flow or multiple cash flow?
Single cash flow.
Yes, single. So for single cash flow, which is the formula do you use to find out the present value? Present value is nothing but A divided by 1 plus R raised to N. So that is 100 divided by 1 plus 0.10 raised to N. So 100 divided by 1.10. So the answer for sub question A is present value is 90.91. So individually go solving the problem and go step by step very slow. Otherwise in exam what happens, you will get confused regarding the formulas that you're supposed to use. So go very slow, step by step. Next, for B, rupees 100 at the end of year 4. So they're telling compute the present value for rupees 100 at the end of year 4. So simply what you're going to do is discount rate is 10% for all the 4 sub questions, but the year is changing. So at the end of year 4, so what are you going to do? Take n as 4 and the rest calculation remains the same. Then you get the present value as 68.30 rupees. Okay. Now in C part, they are asking rupees 100 at the end of year 3 and year 5. So they are asking you both. If you're receiving 100 at the end of year 3, what is going to be your present value? And if you're receiving 100 at the end of year 5, what is going to be your present value? So in again C question, there are two sub questions. So what is happening here? First, you have to take n as 3 and find out the present value. Then you take n as 5 and find out the present value. But the rate of interest 10% will remain the same for all the sub questions. Next, they are asking rupees 100 for the next 10 years. So for the next 10 years, they're asking rupees 100. So for years 1 to 10, so you have to take 8 is divided by 1 plus r raised to n. So 1 plus 0.10 raised to 10. When you solve this, you get the present value as 38.55. So this problem carries 10 marks. See students, when whatever I have solved while earlier showing you these problems, I solved a little complicated. But usually when you go to see in the question paper, very simpler problems are asked. So did everyone understand all the questions
Ma'am,
relating?
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, dear.
Can you
Yes,
explain the last part?
yes,
That 38.55, 1 through 10 years.
yeah. You want me to explain this? What is the meaning of 1 to 10 years?
Yes, ma'am, because you did the same thing what you did previously for A, B, and C. So I got confused a little bit.
Yeah, see, what it is like this B question becomes 1 to 4 years. This becomes 1 to 3 years. When this word is used, no, for years 1 to 10. So it is like for years 1 to 10. So this is individually if you're taking from year 1 to 10 it is. So from first year if you keep on doing, it will be up to 10 years. So the n will be 10 years. Yes?
Yes, ma'am, they've tricked the question, I guess.
Yeah,
They've
they trick
given it
question.
previously, they've given different as they've given.
See
I
the
got it, ma'am.
sentence. Okay, okay, okay. The sentence given is a different manner, but 1 to 10 years means it means 10 years. Okay. Is the question is we have completed one question paper where only three questions were asked regarding this particular chapter. So one was for 3 marks, 7 marks, and one was for 10 marks. Okay, now moving ahead to question paper relating to June July 2017. Okay, now here it is for 8 marks. Earlier the question pattern was different, 3, 7, 10. Okay, so the question marks pattern keeps on changing. So now this was for 8 marks in June July question paper 2017. So let us now understand this. Okay, Mr. Sharma borrows 1,60,000 for a musical system at a monthly interest of 2.5%. The loan is to be repaid in 12 equal monthly installments. Prepare loan amortization schedule for Mr. Sharma. Now, what we have to do, students? Loan amortization schedules. How many columns are there, students, for loan amortization schedule?
5.
5.
5 columns. So very good, you'll remember that. So first and foremost, we need to find out the annual installment, right? Years you're going to write from 0 to 12. That is clear. But the next very column is to calculate your annual installment. So we knew that the formula to calculate annual installment is nothing but annual installment or cash flow is nothing but present value divided by present value annuity factor. Okay. Now, what all is given? The loan amount is given. The rate of interest is given 2.5% per month. And the number of months is given 12 months. Monthly, you have to finish the loan within 12 months. Now, we have written the present value as 1,60,000 divided by present value annuity factor, which is 2.5% for 12 months. Now, can anyone tell me, can I use tables to find out the value of present value annuity factor? Can I make the use of the tables for find? No. Then if
No,
you
ma'am.
cannot, okay, if you cannot make the use of the tables, what is the next alternative? You have to use a formula. See, to calculate each of present value annuity factor, there are two methods. Use the table. If table you cannot is not available, or you cannot use the table because decimal points percentages are given, then you need to use the formula. And formula I've already told you all that in the absence of table, the formula that you need to use is present value annuity factor is equals to 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus k raised to n, the whole divided by k. So you can see the particular, uh, you can see the, what to see, you can see that in absence of present value annuity factor, you have to use this particular formula which I've already covered in my previous classes. So now 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus. What is K? K is your percentage. Now it is what percentage? 2.5%. Okay. So 2.5% is nothing but 0.025 raised to 12. Okay. The whole divided by 0.025. So you further solve it. 1 minus 1 divided by. Now students, when you solve this particular 0.025 raised to 12 plus 1, you get it as 1.3449, and then the whole divided by 0.025. So first minus this both students. 1 minus, when you divide 1 by 1.3449, you get 0.7435, the whole divided by 0.025. So simply just divide this, you get the present value annuity factor as 10.26. Is this clear, students? Yes? Is this particular formula clear to calculate present value of annuity factor? Yes, students? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, moving ahead is,
Ma'am, screen
when,
is not visible.
okay. Now is it visible? I'll just move this here. Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, in order to find out the annual installment, you know that you have to divide P, that is the loan amount or the present value, divided by present value annuity factor, which we have found out using the formula. So 1,60,000 divided by 10.26, you get the annual installment or cash flow as 15,598. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is going to be my next step? I have calculated the annual installment. Now, what is going to be my next step? Yes?
Loan
Yes.
amortization schedule.
I have to prepare a table showing loan amortization schedule. Okay. Tell me, as you all told me, 5 columns will be required. Which are the 5 columns? Which are the 5 columns required
Year,
in loan amortization?
installment,
Year,
interest, principal, outstanding balance.
Very good. So what I'll do, as you all told me, year will start with 0. It will end in 12. Sorry, this is months, students. I'm so sorry. Since year you are repaying in 12 months, this will be months. Okay. Okay. So you have months, you have installment, interest, principal, outstanding balance. So when you took the loan, you have taken 1,60,000. That time you're not repaying any installment. And if installment is not repaid, there is no interest principal in question. So right. So 1,60,000 you will write at the month 0. Now, blindly you will just write for all the months, you will write 15,598, which was our installment amount. Now, can anyone tell me how do we calculate interest? How did I get this 4,000 rupees? Yes, students? How do I calculate interest? Remember, students, interest is always calculated on the outstanding balance of the previous month or previous year, respectively. So now, what is the interest rate of interest given in the problem? The rate of interest given in the problem is 2.5% per month. So previous month monthly balance I need to check, and I need to take 4.5% of previous month outstanding balance. So 1,60,000 into 2.5% will give me 4,000 rupees. Now, can anyone tell me how is this principal amount calculated? Yes, students?
Installment minus interest.
Installment minus interest. I get
Interest.
11,590. Okay. Can anyone tell me how is this outstanding balance calculated for month 1, for the first month? Yes,
Previous
student.
outstanding balance minus principal repayment.
Very good. Okay. Then what we do, we go to month 2, where installment will remain the same. Next, I need to calculate interest. Now, quickly tell me, students, how is 3710 calculated? Yes, students.
Outstanding balance into rate of interest.
So you have to give me answer as 1,48,402 into 2.5%. Okay. This is the answer you are supposed to give. So it is 3,710. Now, how do I get this principal? Quickly,
Installment
students.
minus interest.
So it is
15,005.
598 minus 3,710. How do I get this outstanding balance? Yes, students. It is
1,48,402
1,48,400.
minus 17,887.
Okay. So can any student explain the part from year 3 to 12 in the same manner as we did for year 1 to 2? Can any student take the lead and explain this part to those students who are yet to understand? Can any student take the lead to explain this? Yes. Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, start.
Uh, Outstanding balance, that is 3,36,515 into 2.5%. We will get the interest 3,412. Then for principal amount, installment, that is 15,598 minus 3,412. We will get the principal amount. For outstanding balance, 13 lakhs 3,36,515 minus 21,186, we will get the outstanding balance. For 4 month, outstanding balance, that is 12 lakh 1,24,329 into 2.5, we will get the 3,108. For principal amount, our installment, that is 15,598 minus 3,108, will get the principal amount, that is 12,490. And for outstanding balance, previous outstanding balance, that is 1,24,329 minus 12,490, will get the outstanding balance. And for fifth month, for interest, 1 lakh 1,11,839 into 2.5, we will get the interest 2,795. And then for principal amount, installment, that is 15,598 minus 2,795, we will get the principal amount 12,803. And outstanding balance, 99,036 into
Okay, now you can
sorry,
directly
ma'am.
go to the 11th month. So in the similar lines from 5th month to 10th month, on the similar lines what she explained, you have to keep solving it. Always remember, interest on outstanding balance, principal is installment minus interest, outstanding balance is the previous year balance minus the principal amount. Okay, you can directly continue with 11th month. Yes, dear, you can continue with from 11th month.
Yes, ma'am. For interest, that is outstanding balance, 15,218 into 2.5, we'll get the interest
15,000?
300.
Okay,
For
okay.
11
You're
men,
explaining for the year 12th. Okay, okay. Yeah.
12 men.
Okay. Huh.
For interest, outstanding balance that is 15,280.18 into 2.5, we'll get the interest 380. And for principal amount, installment that minus interest, that is 15,598 minus 380, we'll get the principal amount, that is 15,218. And for outstanding balance for 12 month, that will be 0. That is
Okay.
outstanding
So
balance
did it,
and principal amount.
okay. So did everyone understand this particular problem? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here
Yes,
the
ma'am.
main important thing that we have seen is in the absence of table, how do we calculate? So we see tables. Just a second. Can you all see the table?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see your students, even if you all are not able to remember the formula, it is very simple. Tables will be given in the examination hall. The formula to calculate the value also is given here. So if you're not remembering the formula how to calculate the uh, present value annuity factor, if you're not remembering the formula or if you're confused with the formula, in the table itself the formula is given. Just substitute the figures in the formula. So in the when the table name will be given, along with that the formula is also given. So 1 minus 1 the whole divided by 1 plus k raised to n the whole divided by k. So the formula is given here. Use this formula and find out the values. That is, find out the present value annuity factor. Okay. In case decimal percentages are given or decimal number of years is given, it is not a whole digit. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can you share these tables?
Yes, dear. By the end of today, I'll be giving you the notes, the solved questions, answers, and this table. I'll share with you all this table. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Along.
Okay.
Okay. The next one. Now this you all have to answer, students. What are they telling us to find and which formula are we going to use? Okay. Sujata deposits rupees 5,000 at the end of every year for 6 years at 6% interest. Determine how much money will be there at the end of 6th year in the hands of Sujata. And this simple problem is carrying 6 marks. So can you all first thing I want you all to analyze whether you have to calculate the present value or future value. Determine how much money will be there at the end of 6th year. Future value. Okay.
Future
Now
value.
tell me which formula
Future
I'm
value.
supposed to. Okay. Very good, students. Future value answer is correct. Now tell me which formula are you going to use. See, they're telling 5,000 at the end of every year for 6 years. So Sujata is going to deposit
Annuity.
5,000 annuity. So which
Deferred
is the
annuity.
very good. So what is the formula for future value of deferred annuity? It is cash flow into future value annuity factor. Correct, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So it is cash flow. You can write P as it is. You can name it anyhow. So it is cash flow into future value annuity factor. This factor you find out by using 6% for 6 years. Now cash flow is 5,000. Can anyone tell me, can I use table now or should I use a formula to find out the value? Yes?
Table.
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 Table can be used, and in case if you don't want to use a table, you use the formula, no issues. So 6% for 6 years. Which particular table are you going to refer? Which table are you going to see?
Second.
Yes, students?
Table number 2.
Table number 2. So 6% for 6 years. 6% for 6 years is 6.9753. 6.9753. When you multiply, you get rupees 34,876. Is this clear, students? Okay. So did everyone understand all the questions that we covered in question paper relating to June, July 2017? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, students, the questions are very simple, but only where max they take these values from different tables. First of all, they do not know which table number is to be used. Okay. Secondly, they get confused between the present value formula and future value formula. So remember, students, to solve any question in time value of money, you need to first thing correctly analyze whether present value is asked in the question or future value and correctly use the table number. If you go wrong with the table number, the factor will be wrong and your final answer will be wrong. So maximum students make a mistake in getting this value correct from the table. Okay, moving ahead, question paper, this is relating to June, July 2018. Okay, what sum what sum will be getting if rupees 5,000 is invested in 6 years time at 8.5% per annum? Calculate the amount by using yearly, half yearly and quarterly interest rates. Now what am I supposed to find out in this particular problem, students?
Future
Yes,
value.
students? Future value.
Future
Now
value.
they have asked separately, calculate the amounts by using yearly calculation, half yearly calculation and quarterly calculation. Now, future value of a single cash flow or multiple cash flow?
Single cash flow.
Single cash flow.
Okay. So let us solve it for first annually, then semi-annually and then quarterly. Now, A is equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. This formula you know is for compound interest, which applies same to calculate the future value. Now the A you can denote as future value. Now your P, the amount that you're investing is your 8.5%, which is nothing but 0.085 raised to N, because N is 6 years. When you now, can you all tell me, students, to find out the value of 1.085 raised to 6, can I use the tables, or which table number am I supposed to check? Yes, students? For this particular, to find out this particular factor, which table number am I supposed to use? Yes, students?
We can't use table.
Because it is in decimal.
Why? Very good. Okay, good. So this simply use your scientific calculator or simple calculator, get the answer. You got the answer as 1.6315. When you multiply this, you get the future value as 8,185. Next is semi-annually. In semi-annually, simple, what you need to do is divide R by 2, multiply N by 2. So when you divide this 8.5% by 2, you get 4.25, and 6 into 2 you get as number of months as 12. No, number of years as 12. So when you multiply this 2, you have to solve this using a scientific calculator or a simple calculator. When you multiply this 2, you get your future value as 8,239. Similarly, for quarterly, you have to do divide R by 4 and multiply N by 4. Okay, when you divide 8.5% by 4, you get this particular figure, and when you multiply 6 into 4, you get 24. So when you solve this using a scientific or simple calculator, you get 5,000 into 1.6564, which is nothing but 8282. Is this problem understood by everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Students, what happened? Why not replying? Is this problem understood by everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what we have seen, we have solved the 3 questions. Okay, the next question is, what is time value of money? So can anyone answer? This is for 2 marks theory question. So what is time value of money, students? Yes? Can anyone answer what is time value of money?
As the time passes, the amount remains the same, but the value differs.
Same amount you may get in future.
Okay, since I'm not able to hear your students, time value of money simply means the value of money keeps changing due to time. There are various reasons attached to it. It may be due to inflation, it may due to be loss of the opportunity. So all these reasons, the value of money keeps changing with time. So today if you invest, or today if you have 100 rupees, the value will not remain the same after particular number of years. So after even 1 year, the value of 100 will not be the same. So the value of money keeps changing with time, though the amount of money may be the same, but the value or the worth attached to the money differs or changes with time. Okay, so this was questions related to question paper June July 2018. Is this clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we have
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
majorly questions, one similar set of questions that can be asked in this particular problem, in this particular module, is to find out the compounded amount. This is a very common question that is asked from this particular module. That is this either annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly. Okay, so this set of question is very commonly asked in this particular module. So you can practice more on such type of questions. And loan amortization schedule, students, you have to practice that, no doubt in that, because it is a case study question. It can come. So one loan amortization schedule is can be asked, and this is a common question that is always asked in question papers. So now let us move ahead to the next question paper. Okay, question paper for June July 2016. So now again, time value, what is time value of money? This is again a frequent theory question that is asked for 3 marks. Can anyone now tell me what is time value of money? Yes, students.
Value of money
Can anyone tell me?
changes with time. Is
Okay, though the amount
As the
of
time
money may be
changes,
the same, but
value
the
of
value
money
changes
changes.
with time. Okay, very good. Now next, determine the following. So they have given you 4 sub questions which you need to solve individually. Some students again get confused that whether it is asked together. So you need to solve it separately. Okay. Now, future value deposited in 5 years in a bank which earns interest of 9.5% per annum compounded semi-annually. So can anyone ask, can anyone tell me what have they asked in this particular problem? Determine the following. So they mean to say determine the future value of rupees 1000 deposited in a 5 years in a bank which earn interest of 9.5% compound. And tell me, what am I supposed to find out? Which formula I'm supposed to use?
compound
Yes, students.
semi-annually.
Hmm?
Compound interest.
Compound. Okay, what is the formula?
A is equal to P 1 plus R is to N into 2
P.
divided by 2.
So when it is semi-annually, simply divide R by 2, multiply N by 2. And students, see, they are asking determine the following. So future value, determine the future value of 1000 deposited. Okay, now since first question we will solve question wise, sub question wise. So first for A part, which formula are we going to use is A is equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. Okay, here A we do not know. P is 1000 in the bracket 1 plus the rate of interest is given is 9.5%. So we write here 9.5%. Okay, divided by 2 because it is semi-annually, and N we multiply by 2. Now what is N given here? N given here is 5 years. So we multiply N by 5. So we're multiplying N by 5. Now next, when we divide this 2, we get it as 1.0475 raised to 10. Now we solve this particular thing. Can we use table for solving this particular factor, students? Yes? Can, for finding out this factor 1.0475 raised to 10, can we use table? Yes, students? Yes, students? Can we use table?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
We can use table.
First table.
We can use table for this. No, dear, the
No,
percentage is 9.5%, right? Correct. So table cannot be
decimal.
used since it is in decimal. So you have to use your calculator. So use your scientific calculator. You get this 1000 into 1.5909. So you get your future value as 1590.5. Is it clear? Is this A part clear, students? Yes?
Ma'am.
Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
We'll continue the remaining part in our next class.